in your reality, it is only you. Everything you see externally is a reflection of your beliefs, thoughts, energized by your emotions/energy. You reflect everything inside to your external world. This appears in what you see, what you experience, what people say, books, TV shows. As you become more conscious, you start seeing the synchronicities or the coincidences, and you start realizing there is a magic in the world that's trying to show you something. Let me share some experiences I had that I thought it was the world happening to me, and then realized actually these were beliefs I had, and I looked for them to materialize in the external world. For instance, I would take my dog on a walk, and I would always be fearful of the people that had their dogs off leash coming over and attacking my dog. I started then creating that experience that every time I would go out, there would be somebody who would have their dogs off their leash and their dogs would come running over and there'd be an altercation, and I'd be very fearful that my dog would be hurt. I had several really aggressive experiences in that way, where I was physically hurt, where I'm bleeding, where the other person is very aggressive at me because of my reaction of their dogs being off the leash. Instead of it being me aggressive at them, it was them aggressive at me because I wasn't appreciative of their dogs being off the leash. And once I became conscious of this belief and the fear-basedness of, my animals being harmed, my dogs being harmed, I started letting go of those beliefs. And I have now created an experience, and this has been several years. I have now created an experience where I walk my dog, and it can be in a city of 5 million people, where there is a lot of neighbors walking their dogs, walking, traffic, all of that type of thing. I can now go out and walk my dog and not run into anybody, and just have this beautiful experience of looking at the trees and just admiring the beauty of nature, because that's the reality I create. I know it's crazy and it's hard to comprehend. It actually has a term. It's called the green light phenomena. And that is basically, once you start becoming more conscious of your reality and start thinking life works out for you, instead of approaching a traffic light and being like, it's going to turn red, or I always hit the red lights. All of a sudden, if you start believing, I always time it perfectly that there's a green light. Same with parking spots, right? Like if you're always, I'm not going to get a parking spot, it's going to be so much traffic, that's what you're going to experience. And how it works is, this isn't like a television show. You aren't creating everything. Everybody is there and every object is there out in the external world. You just create the timing of it. So timing wise, I would go out randomly in my mind, but energetically, I'd feel compelled to go out and walk my dog when there was a person who had their dogs off the leash, to create that experience. So remembering time and space do not exist in the energetic realm. That's something that we have in the physical 3D realm. I would time it in the physical realm to have that experience. The same thing happens with people in your reality. Once you start listening to people, really listening to them, And if you feel resistance in your body, realize they're saying a negative belief you hold. The only way they can exist in your reality is if energetically you two have come to an agreement on some belief. For instance, an example would be if you have a belief that people are good. Only good people are going to show up in your reality. If you have a belief that people are inherently bad and out to get you, you're going to experience that in your reality. If you have a belief that there are people that are doing home invasions, burglarizing homes, you're going to start seeing that in your reality. Whether it's on the news, whether it's your neighbor's house, whether it's your own house. I am at a point in my consciousness where I know nobody is going to harm me. I don't have any fear of other people. And I'm not saying there aren't people out there that intend harm because that's their belief system and where they're at on a timeline. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they will not exist in my reality. If I'm in my highest and best timeline, they won't exist in that reality. So let's say I'm going to the grocery store and a person who is creating a reality where they're going to harm somebody is in the same vicinity as me. I will go to the grocery store, buy whatever I buy. I will leave before that person comes in. Or they'll be on one side of the store, I'll be on the other side of the store. We literally will not be in the same physical reality because our energy isn't attracting each other. Instead, our energy is repelling each other. And that's why people come in and out of your life, is because energetically you have some sort of attraction to each other. And it can be, I'm inviting harm, I intend harm. Or it can be, I don't feel good about myself and I think people are going to attack me. And it could be, I don't feel good about myself, so I'm going to attack other. And these two people are going to come together. So everything is energy, and energy is emotions backed by thought. So your thought creates your reality, your emotions energizes it. Going back to this again, because it keeps getting repeated. You create everything in your reality. Every experience, every person, what you see, what you hear. You may think you randomly overhear a random conversation between other people, but then there's a soundbite in that conversation that you were meant to hear. There are no coincidences. Everything is coming from either your conscious or, more likely than not, unconscious mind belief systems. That is why it's so important to keep becoming more aware and bring more to consciousness. As you come more and more on your highest and best timeline, fewer people are going to exist in your reality. There'll be a contraction of all of your timelines and all of these false realities you created based upon limited beliefs. You'll come into your highest and best timeline, and there you either will attract people back who also have been exploring and have come to their highest and best timeline, or people simply will not exist in your reality that previously did, or new people will come in that are at your energetic frequency. It's a pretty incredible journey. Keep believing in yourself. Keep centering yourself. Keep grounding yourself. The more you listen to your inner wisdom and inner guidance, the more you're going to find peace in this journey, and the more love, bliss, and happiness you're going to experience. Think of every day as the most beautiful day, and that's what you'll experience. Peace and love to you all. Thank you.